pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Just want to let you know that our Michael Strange Foundation weekend workshop went unbelievable. We had 20 parents come in, 20 Gold Star parents come in down North Wildwood, New Jersey at the Bolero Hotel. And it was just an unbelievable weekend. You know, we had people from all over the country that our foundation, we paid for them to come in.
Knights of Columbus had a dinner for us down in North Wildwood, honoring all the Gold Star moms and dads. After that, we went across the street to the ocean where we had a wreath ceremony. A wreath is in a circle, and a circle never ends, just like our love for our sons never ends. As we threw the wreath in to the ocean trickles throughout the world, just like our love for our sons go through the world. And it was the most touching part of our weekend. The camaraderie, the love between the parents, to know the pain that we all go through every day. Every day we think of our sons and the ultimate sacrifice they gave for this country. And all we're trying to do is just give a little bit of our heart back through the MichaelStrangeFoundation.org.
And the transformation of these parents from Thursday and Friday when they came in until Monday when they left was unbelievable. I got to meet other Gold Star step parents because I am myself a step parent, and you know, it was unbelievable. So, you know, if you would please go on to MichaelStrangeFoundation.org, check out our website. You know, Michael was one of almost 7,000 heroes that have been killed in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Through the Michael Strange Foundation, we do weekend workshops. We brought over close to 50 Gold Star parents through, and meeting the other parents and hearing the tragedies of how their sons died. Something goes on during our weekends. There's a bond there. Like I said, we're in the club nobody wants to be in, and we need support. We lost 7,000 in Iraq and Afghanistan. That's 14,000 parents. That's another 14,000 grandparents. Everybody had at least 4 or 5 brothers and sisters. That's another 35,000. Everybody had 5 good friends. That's another 35,000. Everybody had 4 or 5 aunts and uncles. Another 35,000. Everybody was in a platoon, 25 to 50,000. The list goes on.
I've learned when I see that look come across his face, and I know it's that moment that the pain in his heart is just getting too much for him at that moment. And you know, all I can do is listen and use some of the tools that were taught in this workshop, you know. And it's just so important. It's so important. The need is so great out there. You know, we need as much help as we can possibly get. And we owe this to these parents and siblings as a country, because without their children or siblings, we wouldn't be the country that we are today. You know, we're still free. We still have our liberties because these heroes are going to battle for all of us. There's different foundations out there for the Gold Star parents, and it's nice what they do. They, you know, go on different they go to dinners, or they go on fishing or golfing, or something like that, but there's nothing to deal with the loss of your child or sibling. And so that's what we're doing. That's what we do as our foundation. We try, as my husband says, piece of his heart is missing, and that piece can never, ever be replaced. But the need is so great. The biggest thing that we're missing is sponsorship. We need some corporate sponsorship to get this throughout the country. The Michael Strange Foundation has to be known throughout the United States of America. There's so much pain in this country. Their sons and daughters and brothers and sisters have given the ultimate sacrifice. But it's also the parents and siblings that are left behind to deal with this pain. Watching my husband every day go through this, it's heartbreaking, and we need your help. If you're seeing this video and you say you want to help, but you don't know what to do, please go on the michaelstrangefoundation.org. My husband's personal email address and telephone number is on there. Contact us. Let us know that you want to help us, and thousands and thousands and thousands of other Gold Star families out there. There's so much pain in this country with losing the sons and daughters and brothers and sisters, and we at the Michael Strange Foundation are trying to give a little bit of healing back, trying to make something good out of a horrific, horrific thing. We're trying to do some healing out there. We have a pin that we give to every family member that comes through our foundation, and it's hands holding a broken heart with a Band-Aid over the broken piece. And the Michael Strange Foundation is trying to be a part of that Band-Aid to put some of the healing out there. So please, if you're watching this message, go on michaelstrangefoundation.org and just contact us and let us know that you want to help. We have a place for you, so please help us. Thank you.
We got a big fight. Yes, you're the last one to get here.
Can I?
Yeah.
I'm Bob. That's what it is. I will. So Charlie?
Thank you.
Like pulling
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Charlie.
Thank everybody for coming out. But we couldn't have this event without Kathy and Mike Lero and the owners, and they donated all the rooms from the Michael Strange. And I want to thank everybody for coming. For all the volunteers, you'll see all the volunteers outside the building, in the hallway while we have our different little sessions. Anybody needs any assistance, you see the guys with the greens and the ladies with the green badges, where the bathrooms are. If you want to talk to somebody, I think everybody here is a vet. And I started this foundation with my wife, and it's, we lost our sons to war, in the Iraq-Afghan war, and it's 38 months and 4 days. My friend here, she said, when do you start counting the months? Stop counting the months? I don't know, and so what happens to me is I'm going to the store, go get this, go get that. pick up Mary, and I get to the front door, and I go, nah. I just get gripped up. I sit there thinking about Michael, and I get real sad, and then not every day. I get a lot of anger in me. I do some crazy things. And I hear different people, Dan, Billy's been helping me out a lot, and Susan I talk to, and Doug here and there. And what we can do here with this loss is reach out to other Gold Star families. I met Stephen and Deb, and you know, the strength in numbers. We ain't alone. You know, there's we lost 7,000 in Iraq and Afghanistan. That's 14,000 parents, another 14,000 grandparents. Everybody had 3 or 4 brothers and sisters. That's another 28,000. Everybody had 5 good friends, another 35,000. Aunts and uncles. And when you see what I'm getting at, another 4 or 5, 35,000 people. So this affects 1 million people. These 7,000 young men and women that fought for our freedoms. So we're going to get bigger. We got more events planned, and what we need your input. We need you guys to bring another 3 or 4 people the next time. You know, and we can all grow here. We're the base right here. This is the beginning for all of us. You know, a couple times I thought I was going to have to go to the hat factory. I got other children, and you know, I was at the gym with my son Chaz, and I wasn't doing nothing, but he was lifting. You know, my therapist said you gotta laugh. And he's cool. He's, you know, he's 25. He's, you know, all that. And like I said, how you doing? He said, I'm all right, I'm all right. I said, how you doing? I said, Dad, I lived with him for, you know, 18 years. And I said, I think of him every day. But he's good, you know. So, but when I get in the car, and I think, what's he going to tell his kids? What's he going to tell? He ain't going to be there. Michael ain't going to be there for his wedding. But Michael is going to be there for his wedding. You know what I mean? And his sister. And his other sister. For me, I get like, you know, and I talk to Gold Stars. And how the sons and, you know, the brothers and sisters, and how they're more jubilant, although they're affected, like outrageous, you know. We got other kids to watch out for. You know, 2011, 109 Gold Star sisters killed themselves from Iraq and Afghanistan. Last week, 7 Gold Star parents died from Iraq and Afghanistan. I got my buddy in South Philly. Me and Billy talked to the guy twice. It's been 6 years. It was his only son, drinking every day. Don't want, you know, wants to die. He said, I'm laying in bed, I want to die. Got another lady, she called my friend. She goes, I'll never have grandkids, it was my only son. You know. Got another lady out in Virginia, Dan's trying to talk to her, Mary tried to talk to her. Been in the room for 2 months. Pills. You don't cover nothing with the pills. That just mask it. You know, that just mask it. That's my own experience. You know. So we're all here. We got my man Dennis here. He's going to give us a couple of tours to so we don't end up in the hat
don't touch you, he don't have it. So that's all I got.
My friend,
Thanks, John.
Thank you guys.
John Crowley, same, Charlie, and
thank you.
here to help.
So we wanted
Leach, again, I go back to Charlie. And the rest of his crew, we're all good friends.
Before we get started,
Anything we can possibly do to help, we're here for you.
Thanks, Bob.
I'm Jack Gadden, Mike Quinn's nephew.
Thanks for helping.
Thanks, Jack.
Edie Fisher, I'm here to help. My husband Bob.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bob Fisher, we're here just to do it whatever we can. I'm an Army veteran. I got out early. I got out at 65, so I was lucky. Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.
Dave Erickson, and I'd just like to say that it's an honor and a privilege to be of some service to us.
Thanks, Dave.
Hello, I'm Kathy Gannon from Philadelphia, and I'm truly blessed to be with all of you. So here to serve. Thank you.
Thanks, Kathy.
Hi, I'm Karen Drome. I met Charlie at a Second Amendment rally last year and told him I would stand with him and pledge to help you folks however I can. So I'm here to help you, whatever you need.
Thanks.
It's an honor.
Eric Simmons, Patriot Guard, Ride Captain, here at your service.
Thanks, Eric.
Jim Holt, I've known Charlie for a long time. I'm a Marine Corps veteran. Honor and privilege to be here.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Yeah, Ken Jovovich, friends with all these guys. Whatever I can do to help.
Thanks.
Thank you.
John McBurney, Army veteran, just here to help.
Thanks, John.
Bob Hillgrube, friends with Charlie, Marine vet, just here to help anybody out here.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you.
My name is Leanne Smith. I am the proud mother of Sergeant Andrew Robert Tobin, who was killed in action in Afghanistan August 24th, 2011. Thank you for all being here, and it's nice to be with other Gold Stars. It's the only chance that we really get to be somewhat normal in our new norm.
My name is Kate Kennedy, and I'm really blessed that you welcomed me to come here. I am a 20-year emergency room ICU burn trauma nurse, so I've been at the bedside helping families and patients and helping them in their grief and working through it.
Sorry. Yeah.
My husband was killed, by a drunk driver 6 years ago. And 4 weeks to the day that it happened, I miscarried our only child. So, excuse me. So I started last year working with the Navy SEAL Foundation. I fundraised $26,000 for them in 2 months. And I met Dan at a pre-event dinner, and we just connected. So we together are working on a project that would give seminars to the family members of Navy SEALs. So at Bud's graduation, we would open it for any family to come with us. Then we would also do seminars retroactive pre-deployment for existing SEALs, where we would discuss with the family, because when you get that call and you get notified, you're in shock and you don't know what to do. You don't know who to call, you don't know who to talk to. So we want to come up with resources in a folder that at least can prepare them of some idea of what to do. As Dan says, it's like Lamaze class. You're not going to remember everything, but those little bits that you do can help you through it. So we just want to kind of get the resources and everything pulled together for the families. We've agreed to be 24/7 available on a phone to help out in any way, but just to give some preparation and some skills in the unfortunate incident which the soldiers are all out there with. And Dan, he can contribute a little more about the project of what we want to do.
Let's keep going just about
Okay.
Sunday.
Sorry.
Thanks for coming.
I am, yeah, thanks, Kate. I'm Dan Robinson. My oldest son of 3 was killed in Afghanistan on 6 August 2011. Keith was a senior chief. He was the lead on the mission. Went down with a lot of fine guys. And through these last 3 years, I've met some incredible people. And to be able to go around, the country and keep this notion alive and talk to the Gold Star families is so important. So to Michael's question, is this important? Absolutely. I mean, not only we do not forget about the Gold Star families, but I have 2 kids right now that are deployed in the Middle East. And we got to remember all of them. So I thank you all for being part of this, and to be able to meet your children through your eyes is an incredible venture. Michael, Patrick, all of them. I met this guy yesterday who writes songs, and I said, you know, if you could write a song about something for all of our kids, that would be awesome. So I just, and for all of you, some of you guys I met 2 years ago, Johnny and I talk once, twice, every 6 months or so, for an hour and a half or 2 hours at a time. But not to be long-winded, but I just want to say thank you, and I really, truly love all of you. Right? I heard you last night, Dad, man. You know
There's a button on it. There's a button on it.
It's Stu McCann. My name's Brent Layton. I'm the father of James Ray Doc Layton, Fleet Marine Force Corpsman. He was killed September 8, 2009. My firstborn. It's been 5 years. Like we all know, it's just like yesterday. But I want to thank Charles, Mary, and Michael Strange Foundation. This is such an awesome. And there's so much. This ball's rolling. It's going to get bigger. I like that. But you know, I lost my son, but I gained a big family with all of you, and it's what we are now. We're family, and it's us against the world. We're going to win. So, thank you.
That's great. Susan?
My name is Susan Price, and I'm the Gold Star mother of Aaron Michael Kennefick, and my son was on the mission with Brent's and Claudia's son. My son is was my first child. I have 2 daughters, both married with children. My son leaves behind a 14-year-old daughter. He was a 12-year Marine, former recon, spec ops, intel. And I can't bring him back, but I met Charlie a couple of years ago over, you know, social media with Mary. We connected. I met Bill. I said, you got to meet my new family. I told Brent and Claudia. We put it together. We're working. We're, you know, like Charlie said, this is the base. You know, I have some great ideas for our children that are left behind, the brothers and sisters. I think they would just have a ball at one of these events. But yeah, it's tough. But thank you all. My son is a mirror of all your sons. Beautiful spirits. That's all I can say. They've given everything.
Claudia?
Yeah, I'm Claudia Johnson. I lost what? You need the mic? I don't do what? Yeah. Yes. Claudia Johnson. My son was First Lieutenant Michael Edward Johnson. He was in the Marine Corps. Died in a combat mission in the Kunar province of Afghanistan. They call it the Battle of Panjshir. I want to tell you all, as other Gold Star parents, I'm very sorry for your losses. And, you know, we just miss them so much, and that's because we love them so much. Mike has 3 brothers. One of them is his identical twin brother, Danny, and we talk about Mike a lot and how he continues to inspire us. And I thank you for inviting me, and I'm glad to be here.
I think I'll be okay with that, am I? My name is Doug Hamburger, and this is my wife, Shawn. And we're the proud parents of Staff Sergeant Patrick Hamburger. And he was actually killed in battle on August 6, 2011 with Michael and with Heath on Extortion 17. And I really, really appreciate the opportunity for all of us to get together. It sounds like there's been some nicely formed groups in the past with, you know, you 3 and the 3 of us. And, you know, I think everybody has to deal with something like this in their own way. But I think there's a lot of ways that we can deal with it the same that will help us. And I'm really looking forward to the relationships that we all get from this. And Thank you.
Thanks, Doug.
Thank you. My name is Debbie Addy. This is my husband, Steve. My 18-year-old son, Specialist Christopher Kuby, was killed on July 14th, 2007. He was a specialist in the Army through Fort Carson. He was killed in Baghdad, Iraq. The mission he was, well, I'm calling it a mission, maybe I'm not using the proper terminology, but everyone tried to protect him. He was like youngest in their unit, and he started getting himself in trouble because he was getting sick, having a desk job, or just he wanted out and he wanted to do something. He was in the Army for a reason, he had this purpose, and I feel bad because that mission he went on, that his staff sergeant, his platoon mama, as she was called, put him on the mission because he wouldn't give up, and he started acting out in the military. You don't do that. And that mission, he was put as a gunner, and that mission killed him. And many of his higher-ups blame him, and that's 7 years later, they still keep contact with me because they're blaming themselves. Now, platoon mama, Eugenie is her first name. It's like they're so messed up about this. It's like they were protecting him while he was showing himself to be the man. He was the man. He had to prove himself to be the man in everything that he did. But the Army's what he wanted. It was the structured environment that he begged for and longed for, because he had a troubled youth early on. And I'm sorry that I'm rambling on because I don't get this opportunity very much. Charlie and Mary. If it wasn't for you, I would have not known about this happening this weekend. I'm like, see that he's a Gold Star kid, and I've never communicated with him because there's a handful of you on Facebook, but I'm like, wow, it just blew my mind. I think it was God saying, you need to be put in my life, and you need to be put in my life right now. And thank you so much.
Thanks, Dad.
My son is Staff Sergeant Jordan Bear. He was killed in Afghanistan, green on blue attack. And he did the right thing. And I want people to know that his story's not accurate. And I've been dealing with this a lot on my own. So this is a blessing, and thank you.
You're welcome.
But he was a good man, and he did the honorable thing. I just can't go into it.
You're awesome, Pat. Greg.
I just want to start by saying thank you for everything. Phone calls, all the rambling that you and me do back and forth. My son is Lance Corporal Greg Buckley Jr. He's 21 years old in Afghanistan, proud Marine. He had 2 days left before he was coming home, and he was in his gym on his base working out with his buddies, talking about coming home. And for the first time in his life, he would be able to come home and have a legal beer with his dad. That's all he thought about, that's all he talked about. Me and him getting together and going to South Beach and having a beer together. He only turned 21 3 weeks earlier. Last time I spoke to him, he says, I don't want to talk to you, I miss you too much, I just want to come home already. I don't want to be here anymore, I just want to be with you and my brothers. So, the hard part about all of this to me is, a lot of people know the story about my son. He called his own death. Told me 3 months earlier, before he was executed in his gym, while he was working out in a pair of shorts and a tank top, by some piece of shit that walked in. He said, Dad, I'm not leaving this place. He says, I don't understand. I said, you're 20 years old, you're gonna leave there, you're coming home to me. He says, no, I'm not. He says, they're gonna murder me here. He says, I don't get that. He says, you know what? He says, They always told me go with your gut instinct, and my gut instinct is that these pieces of shit over here are gonna kill me while I'm sleeping, one way or the other. You know what? If you could have died on the battlefield, maybe, you know, I can deal with it a little bit better. But the kid was sitting in his gym, you know, working out with his best friend, Richard Rivera, and they nodded and just walked into the gym with an AK-47 and pointed it dead at my son's chest. My son stood up and Rivera was behind him, and he pumped 5 bullets into my son. From what I understand, one of the bullets went through my son's neck into his best friend's neck, Rivera, right behind him. Greg died right away. And Rivera died 2 hours later. Rivera's story is heart-wrenching also, because all he did was kept on talking about his mom. And then he passed away when he got to the hospital. You know, me coming here, I don't know if it's going to help me or not. You know, I try to keep my head up for my other 2 boys. But like you say, if I didn't have my other kids, you know, God blessed me with a son 9 months after Greg passed away. How that happened was incredible. 9 months almost to the day, I was blessed with another son. But it's hard. It's, you know, you wake up, you just ask, why? Why me? Sometimes, as bad as my kid used to smell when he got off that basketball court, I would give him anything in the world to smell it. And sometimes I get a whiff of it, and it's like, you know, I don't know if it's because he did it to me, made me smell that, but it's heart-wrenching. You try to keep your head up for everybody else around you. But it hurts a lot. But I do appreciate you guys inviting me here. And I know everybody's hurting just as much as I am. And I feel sorry for everybody in this room. Just God bless everybody here. Thanks for your time.
Thanks very much.
Mayor, would you like to say a few words?
I'm not a Gold Star mother, I'm a Gold Star aunt. I'm Gregory's sister. And thank you for inviting us. And I hope it will be, and I think it will be wonderful for Greg. You know, in 2 years, a little over 2 years since Gregory was murdered, he hasn't had time to grieve. We've spent most of the time going after the Marine Corps and trying to get answers and accountability and this and that. So I think this will be good for him, that he can just actually grieve with people that understand exactly what he's going through, because as close as we are, I don't understand exactly what he's going through, but you guys do it. So thank you for that. Thank you. God bless you.
My name's Mary Strange, as you know. I just want to thank you all for coming here and, you know, having the open mind to come here and try to get some help and allowing us to help you. You know, thank God. God is the one who put this all together, you know. But we're glad that you're all here. We're honored to meet all of you, you know. And like Charlie was saying, just let other people know, like, that we're ready to explode. We want to help as many people as we possibly can, brothers, sisters, moms, dads, you know. So we thank you all for coming, and we thank you volunteers as well. And you, Michael. Thank you.
Thank you. And also, we have the 3 volunteers in the back. I want to thank Maggie, Sarah. All right. Well, with that, let the healing begin. We're going to hand it back over to my friend Dennis.
What? Okay.
Whether you take me for the fool I know that I can be, whether you see me eye to eye or if we disagree, I'll be your friend until the end. I'll see you through. Whether you heal the casualties or you kill to keep us free. Whether it's goods that you prepare, or you help bring them there. For all you've done for everyone, I won't forget.
We all go together. John Charles can say a prayer for us.
You're alone.
God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen. Amen.
Done, I sing. You're in our prayers.
Love you, Michael.
We love you, Michael. We love you, Patrick.
Everybody called me to come. Mine off my back. Here's you, Doc.
Doc, we love you, Doc.
Hey, make them smile, man.
Jackie.
Who's next?
Yeah.
All right, this is for Aaron. Here you go, right, Aaron. Love you, Aaron.
Love you, Aaron.
Just killed a seal.
Who's up?
Hope you feel good.
Who else is next?
Where's Leanne? Leanne is
Oh, okay, come on.
Yeah.
Lead us
MVP.
down the right path in the future, press until we meet again. Love you, son.
Woo! All right, Deb. Deb, you throw like a girl.
I'm scared I'm going to fall.
I don't blame you.
I know.
Michael.
Everybody with me.
I love you, man.
Michael,
love you.
Love you. Jordan!
Go for it, Jake. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mike D.
Mike D. We all know brother. We got three more.
Sal. Thanks, Bobby. Right here. Mike's
All your friends?
All your friends?
Yeah.
All right, for everybody. Thanks, Mike.
My brother Joe that died in 1976.
Joe! My brother Patrick died in 1988. We miss you both dearly. Patrick!
Quinn brothers.
Got a couple, anyone need one?
Why don't we do, if there's four left, we can do one for each branch of the military.
All right.
For all the armed forces, for everybody
We
lost
can throw it the
and
furthest.
still
Come
alive.
on.
That's
Killed the seal. Ready?
Everybody.
Good service. God bless America.
Hurrah!
We got swimming again.
Do over.
And
Devil dog.
And guide. Put it in there. We got one more going in. Awesome. To the prairies, to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Love you guys. Woo. Amen. Thank you, everybody. Not forgotten.
You're the man. You're the man.
Vet, I would like to introduce Dr. Sean. He's really supportive of the Michael Strange Foundation and always has us on the radio station. Great American, great patriot. He's also a pastor, and I asked Sean to say a few words this morning, talk for a few minutes. Thank you, my friend.
I don't want to dance with that. Keep going. Well, I have to say, my nickname is the Ninja Pastor. I have a weird background for a pastor. So my approach is unconventional, let's say. I always tell people, I get death threats every week on my show. Last week I got 10 death threats. How do you do a death threat on a guy, Debbie Lee and the Strangers? How do you have,
I'm sorry.
I mean, it's just crazy, but my approach is different. My focus and dedication, every week if you've heard the show, you'll know I start the show off every single week greeting the people in the field that are working to secure our freedom. And then at the end of the open, I thank the Gold Star families. The reason I do that, and I've been asked many times by the radio network and different people, higher up radio people, and they say, you know, you take up a lot of time doing that. You're missing a lot of your ability to impact for your own show. Why do you do that? And I answered them just simply this way. When I took my oath in the Navy, I was in the Navy, and I raised my hand, I wrote a check, and I left it blank. And it was under the belief that the American public, the United States government, if something should happen to me, that they would take care of my family. If I was injured, that they would give me proper, frankly, excellent medical care. And if my heart was hurt from what I saw and experienced, that they would care for that. And ultimately, for the Gold Star families, I just believed in my heart. I believed in my heart that there's no way possible, because I knew so many. Many of my relatives have been in action. I just knew in my heart there's no way the American people and the United States government would ever fail to help the families left behind. And I was wrong. I found out the hard way I was wrong. You all found out the hardest possible way. And one thing I will tell you as I stand before you now, I will never, ever, I'm committed to this, no matter where I speak in the country, I will never fail to point a light toward all of you and the thousands and thousands and thousands of others you were saying at breakfast, the number of Gold Star families must be astronomical. Of course, when we think about Iraq and Afghanistan, that's a huge number. But then when we think about even past, and my area of service was clandestine service. So there's people that die all the time, never makes the news. They're buried usually in Arlington. Half the time the name on the stone's not even their real name. I'm going to tell you this. This is a club, this is said all the time. Everybody, this is so cliche in a sense. This is a club nobody wants to join. I have a dear friend, Debbie Lee, and Karen and Billy Vaughn. And we talk about that. Every time we're together, we talk about this. You just hate this club. I hate this for you, all of you. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. But then at the end of my heart being broken, I get angry. And I have this thing on the radio show that we're building a network of over 1 million happy warriors. It's a hashtag happy warrior. And part of that group is to help find a way to smile again, which part of this, I already heard some of the most authentic laughter and some of the most beautiful smiles I've seen in a long time down here at breakfast. I saw somebody give you a salute. I'm not naming names or pointing in directions. But only this group understands, truly understands. But as long as I have breath in my lungs, I make a promise to you. There'll never be a venue that I go, there'll never be an interview or anything I do where I won't mention you. Let me say, everywhere I go, and it's funny because sometimes different things I wear, it looks funny, but I travel with this ever-growing bundle of challenge coins and different mementos in my pocket. This one is from Mark Allen Lee. Not long after Mark was killed, he's the first Navy SEAL killed in Iraq. When I got this, I almost couldn't stand. My knees buckled. And I looked, Debbie, how many of you here know Debbie Lee? So she's tall, she's a tall girl. And you know, I'm not a little guy, I'm somewhat petite, but I actually realized at a certain moment that she was holding me up. There's one thing I knew at that moment that I would never ever do. And this really became true to me. I was giving a speech in Florida, 55 and older group. It was about just under 3,000 people. And afterwards, somebody came up and they gave me one of these coins. And they had lost 2 sons. 2 sons in Iraq and Afghanistan. You know, I have a nephew that leaves next month. He's a Marine sergeant for another deployment. I have another nephew who's had 4 deployments to Afghanistan. And one of these coins, when this fella handed me this coin, he put it in my pocket and he thanked me, which is, are you kidding me? I'm not the one sacrificed. I didn't give the sacrifice, you did. But he said something to me I'll never forget. He said, Sean, let me tell you something. In a room of almost 3,000 people, there are 9 Gold Star moms and dads. 3,000 seems like a big number. When you say 9 people out of that, and he said, you know what's really sad? When we leave this room and you walk around this community and you say, hey, do you know what a Gold Star family is? Do you know what a Gold Star mom, Gold Star dad is? Most people don't know. I did a little interview thing that used to be up on our website where I asked them, hey, do you know what a blue star means in the window? You see a blue star in the window? Didn't know. Do you know what a gold star is? Didn't know. People who should know didn't know. I'm so moved. I get asked all the time about to try to bring light to different things that people are doing. Not that I have I don't have a huge platform at all, but people ask you, hey, can you talk about my this or can you talk about my that? But when I met Charlie and Marianne, I've not seen many people doing what you guys are doing and all the volunteers here. I just haven't. I haven't, and that resonated with me because the general public, they want to take this and they want to put it in their pocket. They never want to look at it again. They never want to think about you because it scares them. It makes real the decisions that they don't even know about that go on in Congress. It makes it real. And it makes them accountable. As long as I live, I will have these in my pocket, and I will have each one of you in my heart. Would you mind if I pray for this group? Good morning, Father. Thank you for the honor to speak with you. And thank you for the honor to be with these people. You know their sacrifice better than anyone. And God, as we are here together in this group, a club nobody wants to join, I just pray that you would wrap your arms so tightly around each one of these people, and as they hug each other throughout the day-to-day, that they would feel your arms wrapped around them. I thank you for Charlie and Marianne and all these wonderful volunteers for what they're doing. It's your work. They're the hands and feet of you. And I thank you for them. Give them strength. Give those in this group a beautiful, supernatural healing. Let them smile, let them laugh, and let them work for this cause until you come. I pray this in Jesus, your Son's name. Amen.
Dennis is going to say a few words and then call us up one by one, and Mayor's going to give you a little pin that we had made up for your support for everybody coming out. And, I'd like to turn it over to my friend Dennis. Thank you, my friend.
Okay, some things that I'd like to be able to get done today. I'd like to see happen. So one is, and I'm already seeing it happen, people collecting names, turning a bunch into a group that will eventually be a team. I was relating this at breakfast that when we got the news of my brother's death in Vietnam, I was a 17-year-old kid. And I went out behind the row home in South Philly, and I stood there, and I was by myself. And, you know, Jackie was with me. We've already been around us the way that they are around us. And I just thought to myself, and thought out loud, how many families have gone through this? How many families are going through this right now in my great country? How many families are going through this over in Vietnam? How many families have gone through this in the history of man? And I start thinking of there has to be some way of the things I learned, I talked about love yesterday being the padding. And I've seen and experienced and been in touch with more sincerity and love this weekend. I said to you the first day, this room is deep. This is deep as it gets. You don't get any deeper than us. I've seen the love. I would like to just put a cap on what we did yesterday and tell you how important that touch is, because it is the padding. In the good book, Corinthians 1, chapter 13, that I mentioned before, that if you don't have that love, your music's like dropping a pot or a pan. Your knowledge is just a sea of content. To feel this love and have this experience with you all, if there's something that I hope for, is that when you leave, one of the main tools that you really have is to be able to get that padding for yourself. To me, that's that real courage. To know that I need this and I need to get it. You may think that I'm hugging you to comfort you. Why do we wash our face in the morning? Right. I do it for me too. I have to do it for me. I need that padding too. Remember those people that are in that certain circle and use them. Don't be scared to use the people that love you and you love in your life. Don't abuse them. Use them. There was a little bit of an experiment done in a library where they told the librarians, when you're handing the card back to the people checking the books out, they told some of them to touch their hand, and some of them they just put the card down and picked it up. When the people went outside the library, they were interviewed. And they said, what can you remember about the library, the librarian? And the people who just picked up the card, they would mention an article of clothing or color hair, yada, yada, yada. The ones who were touched, even covertly, the ones that were touched even covertly, you've just been touched covertly. Even the ones that were touched covertly reported the librarian as having smiled. At the turn of the century, the orphanages, the doctors told the nurses, don't pick the babies up and coo them and play with them, because you're leading the baby to believe that you're going to be their parent and you could confuse the baby. Okay? So they would just feed them, clothe them. The infant mortality rate went through the roof. They found the babies who were thriving. They would write on the death certificate, inability to thrive. They found the babies who were thriving. The nurses, regardless of what the doctor said, went over and picked those infants up and cooed them and loved them and played with them. They thought they were in trouble. They were the geniuses. Simplicity is genius. So when you have that opportunity to get that padding, get that padding. Because the other side of it that I didn't get a chance to get to, the pastor, Sean, mentioned today. You heard him say that he gets his heart broken, then he gets angry. Did you feel that in your bodies? We all have been hurt, and this hurt can cause what I would call emotional constipation. When I would have a client come in and they'd say, well, you know, what are your ground rules for fighting? I would say, well, couple or whatever. And they say, well, Dennis, I don't fight. And I'd say, well, how do you express your anger? Well, I chose not to express my anger. And I try again. After the third attempt, and they insist that they do not express their anger, I tell them, what you're saying to me is that, Dennis, I'm not going to have any more bowel movements because sometimes I don't like the odor, sometimes I get it on my hand, so I'm just not going to do that. I'm going to eat 3 meals a day, but I'm going to forget, I don't want to have the bowel movements anymore. And what I tell these people is, as gross as garbage mouth Donnie can be, I tell them, I say, look, you either consciously choose the time to eliminate this waste and this poison, or you're going to have a bigger mess on your hands than you've ever had. And that's what this is. We experience life. It doesn't mean people meant to hurt us. Sometimes they do. But we experience life and we get hurt. The positive intention of anger, when we get hurt, our breathing shifts very low. Our tone of voice gets down. Our energy level gets low. I'm not going to express my anger. And you get stuck. If you stay there too long, you get what they call clinical depression, which I believe is anger turned inward. That's what gets me most traction with folks I work with. And they get unstuck. When you're stuck in this state and you're low, and all of a sudden, teenagers are the best. I can't believe she's after, she broke up with me, and you know, and he's stuck. And I go and I see the kid the next day, and he's shooting baskets. I say, how you doing about that breakup? I'm going to show her. You know, I was as good as I could be to her, and that's the best she could do to me. They get up, their breathing shifts into upper visual, the upper body, visual air, and just by virtue of movement, if you have a puddle of water and you don't move it, it stagnates. You have rain, it flushes it out, and things cannot fester in water that's moving like that. Things cannot fester in us when we're moving. What I want to tell you is that if you have those times when you're depressed, get up and move. I would go into a bunch of different exercises. I showed Dan some exercises. It was really nice for me to hear. Yeah, I went and did that. You know, I'm going to try that on, Dennis. That you move. Just by virtue of walking, you have to unconsciously go into the visual air so you don't stub your toe, and you will have more energy. Even if you're talking to yourself about that hurt, you can talk to yourself about the hurt while you're walking, and you can beat depression. And that feels better than being stuck. It's like that little story I told you about being crazy. You're not crazy. You're adjusting to an insane situation. This program I'm developing for combat vets, post-traumatic stress evolution. It's for them to evolve. It's about an evolution. Not going to a shrink, a psychiatrist who gives them pills, puts them in suspended animation. And they're always happy to have something to go in a positive evolution. We all are. Just another reason I love my species. I do love my species. I know that works on a lot of levels, but it's the truth. Johnny Crowley knows it's the truth, with a capital F. Now what I would like to do is I would like to call each Gold Star parent up right now. And Mary's going to pin you so you don't have to be hospitalized by me pinning.
I'm ready.
Yes, you are.
Yes, I am.
Okay, Brett, since I've been here, man, you've got a sense of humor that don't quit, brother. It's working for you. You know, people are going to say to me, oh, that's so good of you to be down there and do that. It's like, well, I'll tell you why. When you're laughing, laughing is the wrong way to grow an ulcer. It's impossible to grow an ulcer while you're laughing. It's been a pleasure, man.
Thank you.
Mary's dance part. Mary's dance part.
That's right, yes he is, isn't he? A little animal that he is.
Mary, tell them what it's about.
Band-Aid. This is the Band-Aid and the Michael Strange Foundation is trying to represent. We want to be the Band-Aid to try to help heal that broken heart. We're glad that you came. We're glad that you're part of us.
Outside.
That's what I was doing. I was just setting it up. That's all.
It's a practice.
Thank you. I figured if I poked him on this side, it wouldn't hurt when I put him on that side.
Warm it up.
I'm so glad you're here.
I ordered a Greek omelet and they put it in front of me. And truth, human nature be, I had half of it eaten before the waitress came back and said I gave it to the wrong person. Sit next to me. She looks at me and she says, yeah, that's my omelet. And just as kind as a human being could be, help me just help me feel good about it. Get back to enjoying my meal. Is that a statement about who somebody is?
You're beautiful, Claudia.
Yes, you are, Claudia.
Yes, you are.
You're very well.
And she's British. I think you have an inner strength, a silent inner strength that I think is amazing. I really do. I really do. I think you're a beautiful woman inside and out. And we're so thankful that you're a part of us. Thank you.
I noticed a communication in email from Sue and went and looked up Aaron. And I read her son, Aaron, when he was home for Thanksgiving, he went out and asked his mother what time dinner was going to be because he wanted to go to a veterans hospital and he wanted to spend time with the real heroes. And I sat back in my chair and looked at this and I thought, these are the kinds of human beings that we need home here in the United States. Amen, brother. But as my rules are, reading from the book of Donalonians, thy will be done, and maybe the fish think we smell. What I learned this weekend, meeting Sue, I found out how Aaron got to be who he is. You're a wonderful person. It's been my pleasure. Really
Good enough, Sue.
Good, Sue.
Love you guys. We're so thankful you're in part of this, Susan. You're a good lady. You're the connector, baby. You're the connector. Don't you know that?
National marketer.
Years. That's
I'm
all.
finally here.
That's right.
Thank everybody. I'm just happy to be here. Everybody.
We're happy that you were here, Susan.
We'll build it out and build it big.
Yeah, we will. In what I do, sometimes you see me get tripped up by time restraints, emotion while I'm doing this. And I look around the room I read people. You know, you heard me talk about eye movements, and you heard me talk about breathing different places. But I read people. And sometimes I'm looking to read people as to, you know, what's going on with them. Is there some way I can... And I look at people, and they give me peace. You've got the most amazing set of eyes I've ever seen. Your face says encyclopedias. Sean,
Sean, we're so glad you're with us. You are a big part of this. You are an amazing woman. You truly are.
What I do sometimes I call tap dancing on thin ice. You're a big help.
Duggerman, there he is. Love you, Doug.
And then I trusted her.
You know what I mean? Dancing on air. That's what they want to know.
Dancing on air. What an amazing man you are, and he's right. You got a smile that just lights up a room. You really do. You have such a kind face, and through a horrible, tragic situation. Yeah, I'm glad that you're with us.
I don't remember that
No, I'm not. I'm going to keep you up here forever. I'm so glad you came. I'm so glad you opened up to me, and we got to know each other. And I hope that we do keep in touch. So, go anywhere.
Unless you mean it.
You got that on tape, didn't you, Steve? All right. There goes that quietness, right?
You were supposed to get that.
Thank you so
I'm going to try not to ramble. However, bottom lines being bottom lines, before I was asked to come over and meet Johnny Crowley's buddy, Charlie Strange. Went over to the Vietnam Vets Wall that they have across from Convention Hall. I did my ritual, rubbed Jackie and the other 4 SEALs that were in the helicopter with him. And then I go back and I rub him again. Do 10 push-ups, 2 for each one. I am not a SEAL, of course. At the same time, I stood there, and those guys they're all around me. And Michael's around me. And Jackie. Get ready for the next adventure, Dennis. Go meet my dad. Let's see what we can do. And I went over and met this guy that was on just that edge of the river, that verge of the tears, holding that back so he could roll this snowball around just like it's getting bigger and bigger in here. And here we are. There ain't nothing strange about him for me. Charlie. Thank you. You're welcome. You know this guy?
I do. A little bit. Hi, Mr. Strange. Yeah. On a date? I'm going to get a hug. Don't take it.
Do like the try.
ever spend time with Charlie, he has a way with words, especially when you talk about his name. And there was one time we were in Washington, D.C., and we pulled in together, and Charlie and Marianne were in front of us, and Sean and I were behind them. And he goes on to the lady at the check-in desk, "What's your name?" And Charlie says, "Well, it's kind of strange." And then he goes on with his spiel. He had everybody in the lobby in hysterics, even the Russians that couldn't speak. So after that, that poor lady behind the desk gets done with him, and she's going, "Woo, what's going to happen next?" I walk up and I say, "Honey, if you think his name was strange, I'm Hamburger." There is no way in hell.
My wife's always saying to me, "Dennis, if we're invited to a party, you're always the first to show up. You're always the last one." It's a pleasure showing up early, taking a walk on the boardwalk, walking with Dan. And once again, feeling like my brother and your son walking along with us, and we've been talking about all the different times that we've had where we get the visits, Jackie and Heath. Of all the things I've seen in the 44 years, when I went into Panama, I was listening to a naval officer speak. I don't remember his name, he was probably a lieutenant commander. He was talking about the operation in Panama where they lost 7 guys. And he went on about his speech. And to listen to this man go along with all this emotion, then when he got to the end, he said, when all of the politics and all of this stuff goes aside, the one thing that I know that I feel good about is that they passed this life being Navy SEALs, what they wanted to be. Besides being a plank gunner, man, he sounds like a SEAL. And most people don't get to know them. I've seen SEALs cry, I've seen SEALs laugh. A lot of people think of them in a lot of different ways, and one of the things that my wife said at the building dedication of my brother in Norfolk is, God, they're incredibly bright people. Really. Bright, gregarious, big sense of humor. So when we get those visits, and what you're able to convey, this is a guy who can look at an American flag and have his own personal experience with it that goes as deep. Something that I wish they would know in Washington, D.C. I'll stay out of that realm. But the big thing is, I got to meet this guy. And if I'm up playing in Detroit and Mackinac, you'd say, good. Either that, or by then you're going to be playing the guitar well enough. It's like, oh God, he wants to come on stage with me.
Dan, what can we say? Except that I'm glad you're part of this sad journey that we're going on, and hopefully we can help a lot of people.
We love you,
will
Dan.
help a lot of people.
move. One dance move, please.
Dan, you were doing.
You don't get no better than this group of people. You don't get no deeper. You're only going to get different. And when everybody was up on the walk last night, I was looking out because Johnny Crowley and I walk along there. Just for you folks, when the world's problems seem to settle down, that means me and John have had a walk. We take a walk down to Anglesey and settle the world's problems. At least solve them. And when we were walking along, one of the things we talked about was the width and not of the walk and not losing anybody on a Saturday night. So I'm a vision of it now. Ambivalence. Remember I tried to get that word out? I'm a vision of ambivalence. That's what you're looking at. Jackie's in here. You guys are in here. Everybody's on the wall last night, and I'm trying to keep my head going back to things we're keeping account. My cousin Maggie come up and handed me a wreath. Through that, and I looked down the end, and here comes Leanne. The kind of individual that she is. She just wanted to have that time. She knows how she works. That's what she needed, and she went and got it. And of course, there was that part of me that's like, he thinks he's just a fool. You know? But, you know, it just went up. We held each other. The risk of being redundant as deep as it gets. The physical stuff you're going through, the emotional stuff you're going through, you're going to come out galvanized steel, girl.
Thank you. How to wear this today, huh? Okay, I'll get you in the scene. Leanne, you know, I had rehab Tracy and Common, but you are such a good woman. You truly are. I want to keep in touch with you. You are beautiful. And like Dennis said, you are an extremely strong woman. And I got a lot to learn from you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Yeah. Thanks, sweetie.
It just takes a weekend, and I appreciate you including us. And
always, we love you, Deb.
Out of a handful of Gold Star events I've been to, I've been most educated, included the allowance to let us all literally open up. I never have been able to do that as much as personally for me that I've been able to do over here this weekend, and I love you and I thank you.
I don't want you to be sorry. You have nothing to be sorry about. You have a lot to offer. You have so much to offer people. And I want you to start saying that. You have a heart that is so big, and you have
Poster
so much.
child, yes.
That's what she is. We're so glad you're part of us. You and I are in the same boat, my friends.
At least let me be the mascot.
We have to.
I'm good at being a mascot.
This is a hard journey, watching our loved ones go through this.
I think we need to set up something for this step.
That's what I was talking about. I was saying to Steve about being the step parent and going through this and how difficult it is.
Included.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing your personal story with us with Mary, because it was big for us Thursday night when we were at dinner talking about that.
Okay, everyone's done, I suspect. What I would like you to do now is go down next to each one, put an A. If you do it alone. Okay, now go back down and put a P next to each one that you do with people. Put a dollar sign. Put a dollar sign next to each one that costs $5 or more every time you do it.
Well, then there's a new one. It's a jersey.
Every time you do it, you say?
Yeah, it costs $5 or more every time you do it.
When I own up, apologize for my mistakes openly. When I physically get out of bed and get out of the house, taking a walk, being more respectful to my husband. When I talk to
Yes! Talk to me, babe.
He's got to be trained real good, don't he, ladies? When I talk or visit one of my very, very dearest friends, Jerry, spend time with my kids, eat healthier. That's one I got to work on big time. When I talk about Christopher and share him with many, when I smile, when I socialize more with people, like all of you.
All right, thanks,
Good job,
Deb. Waking up into a new chapter of my life with people I can embrace as family members and people that get me. But waking up to senses all over again, because that day, something died in me.
Yeah.
The light, my son was my North Star. But not just for me, he loved his brothers. He was the Marine of the Year twice. He couldn't do anything.
I'm sorry, man.
But he was a stellar son before he was a Marine. He was always that gregarious, loving light. And so, I miss that. I miss Mom, smell my new cologne. Mom, am I the first to tell you happy birthday? Just being competitive. And so I miss that. So yeah, part of me died because that was my first child. So now I'm waking up to, and that's why I love bringing people together and helping, do whatever I can to be used in that way. So.
Thank you, Susan. We love you, Susan.
Interesting. The very first one that I thought of is to laugh again, to learn how to enjoy. And throughout this weekend, that's been very prevalent with all of us. And it's very healing. But I was amazed to see how many things that I do alone. And most of it's, for me, because of my situation, has to do with the veterans, both active and past. But I was also amazed that none of these cost me anything. There's not a dollar amount like anything. So, for me, I'm thinking, okay, if there's no money involved, why aren't you doing these more often?
Again, it's really easy to see me as somebody who's nailed life down in the 44 years of being a Gold Star brother. At the same time, man, like Johnny Crowley always says, peaks and valleys, and it's one of those things where, that unexpected banana peel's there. And, but I make great recoveries, and the next time around, it's easier. It's quicker. I'm more resilient. Just knowing how to be resilient, that there is a structure to resiliency. It's not something that you have to be passive and wait for.
And more knowledge.
When it's in writing, to follow through it more instead of just pop, you put it in writing. I don't know, if there's something about writing.
That's it.
Or snore loud. They say it's true. These things don't cost money. What got me on this is the dates. I should have today's date next to all these, but I don't. Some of them like exercise, health. Yeah, that's where. But this important stuff, laughing, talking with somebody. That seems like that's important to me. you know, maybe I'll die laughing and go out that way. Maybe that's my priority. I don't
Well,
know.
I gotta tell you, I have that same experience. One of them here is the pie of life. And you can do it on your own, maybe on the plane or when you get back home. It's simply a circle, just like a pie. The pie has 24 hours, your day. You can divvy it up into as many slices as you need to. You can divvy it up, and then you fill in what you're doing with your day. And you see right there in front of you, as Doug so eloquently put, it goes from being a thought to a plan. And if you don't like the way you're filling your day, then do it the way you like it. Okay, that said, something that's going to be helpful, turning this group of folks that were a bunch before this weekend into a team, is feedback. Again, if I have bad breath and you don't tell me, besides Maggie having a flair for detail and putting lifesavers out, but if somebody doesn't come up, that lifesavers can be all around me. If somebody doesn't come, say, oh, something cold in your mouth, you die. In a very nice way. You know, not fronting you off to the crowd, but helping you with a blind spot. And there are so many that we human beings have because, as I said, I'm in the supermarket line and it says, well, I'm not perfect. And I go, yes, you are. And they both turn, they look at me. I'm a customer, they got a list. I said, you are perfect. Because you made that mistake, you'll never do that again. That's the perfection of human beings. Like the man said, sin's an archery term, take another arrow, take another shot. Learn from the mistakes, that's what that's about.
All of us have something that we are passionate about after losing our child, something that we are fighting for, something that's happened and has made us passionate no matter what. Mine is writing and passing a parents' rights bill. For parents and grandparents. Because of what happened to me when I lost my son, there was over 60 grievous mistakes within the first 2 months, starting from the time when they called me on the phone to tell me my son was killed instead of coming to my house. I had to find my own way to the airport after getting permission to come to Dover. When I got to Dover, the chaplain said to me, you're only the mother, you have no rights, you have to leave the room. After I had a nervous breakdown, I came back, he put his arm around me, he chugged my arm and he said, you have to be strong, this is not about you, and that's when I punched him out.
All right.
Literally punched him. So,
let's hope he had a religious experience.
yes. This is not about taking rights away from the wife if our children are married. It's about giving parents and grandparents equal rights with our children, their belongings, and our grandchildren, if there are any. My son was married but had no grandchildren, but I did find out that he had sperm bank. Then I come to find out there's a lot of things in this. And I met with Congress and the Congressional Committee in this past January. Congressman McKeon, who is the head congressman, promised to sponsor this bill. Then they backed out of it. They sent me a letter, all the days of the year, Memorial Day weekend, sent me a letter and stated, we've decided we're happy with everything, we're not going to do this, over my dead body. So I waited until the 3-year anniversary of my son's death in August to proceed with this. And now what I'm doing is I'm asking for you guys, I just need a little statement stating with your name and your Gold Star parent that you support me in this parents' rights bill. If you want to glance through it, I'll leave it. You can look through it. This is just an outline of everything. And it also goes over things that our children need to be more informed of. Because the Army and the Marines, they leave out so much in the information. As I told Congress, how many 25-year-olds do you know, well, that's better yet, how many 50-year-olds do you know that actually read anything they sign, especially with the internet today? None of them. And most of them go in, they feel, you know, they're still babies when they join.
You can't say,
Sure.
in that very subject, one of my friends was a lifer in the Marines. When I found out how many, I mean, the paperwork, the red tape, he goes, Deb, Christopher was signing stuff, and he was 18. He didn't even understand or know, and he was there, you gotta sign, he like signed his life away to the government, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, but he was honest with it. He didn't know a lot of what he signed.
Exactly. And just like with my son when he died, and it's, my story is not uncommon, it's a very common story. And I never received anything of my son's belongings. His wife sold everything. And anonymously, I got a letter a few months back from somebody at Fort Knox, and I have no idea who sent it to me, that I was actually my son's primary next of kin. And it went to his wife by default. And according to the DOD laws and rules and regs, and I have researched as well, and my assistant is phenomenal when it comes to these things because her major is foreign policy and politics, and she's related to 4 past presidents. So she has a lot of research. So in all of that, the DOD, and what it states is whomever that son puts as the primary next of kin, that's who it's supposed to go to. Nowhere that says by default. So now I have to go in and find that. But the problem is, it's not about taking away rights from the wives if they're married. It's about giving equal rights to the parents, but also about more education for our children. So I actually wanted to get a copy for everybody, and I will come right downstairs and I can do that, but this is so you can look, and I just need a statement, because what I plan on doing now is getting all these statements and then planning a rally with Gold Stars, because McKeon said it wouldn't do you any good to have even all the Gold Stars show up on Capitol Hill. You want to make a bet, buddy? Because
That's right.
Power numbers!
And I just need a separate piece of paper with you guys. It's just a statement that you support it and your signature.
With the date, today's date, that we support it and our signatures.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
This foundation, and we literally are, you know, run by private donations. And if you know a company, if you know an organization, I'm going to send out, by the way, I was working in the back, and I will have that list out to everyone, of everyone's email address and everyone's phone number. You guys can stay connected to this group, right, this family. So I'll have that all out to you. If by chance you know of an organization that you think may want to support our group, we are an official federal registered charity, and you can tax donation. It would be greatly appreciated if anyone could connect us with that. You know, Charlie, as much as fundraising as he does, and literally, you know, selling T-shirts, folks, that we're running, you know, so tight. We either covered breakfast or we're a little short, and we'll be okay with that. And that's how tight it is. So we need your support. Anyone you may know, or anyone that the volunteers may know that want to support this organization, we greatly appreciate it.
Thanks.
Did I miss anybody else?
Yeah, you.
You, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you. How would I go now?
Stand on board with ice cold sodas, cheese curls, potato chips, cheese crackers, hot dogs, ice cream, candy, Heineken, Budweiser, Coors Light. We have Miller Lite on tap, we have Yingling on tap, we have Cape May Brewery on tap, we have wine by the glass, we have frozen drinks available. If you'd like something, just ask one of the mates, and I'm sure that they'll be happy to take care of you. Congratulations, you're going to need our reciting capabilities by a factor of 7 if you did not bring them out. entire length of the journey. We use that money to repair the ones that get bounced off the deck and replace the ones that go for a swim. First come, first served down at the snack bar. A little later on the trip, we'll tell you how to focus them up. Here we go.
Thank you, Steve.
Steve rocks.
Hello, I'm Gold Star Mother Susan Price, mother of Aaron Michael Kennefick, USMC Gunnery Sergeant. I'm really excited about this Gold Star weekend with this Michael Strange Foundation. It's very, very important for myself and my healing process, and it was such deep work that we had bonding with the other families. I just, there's no words to express how meaningful and healing this weekend was. And if I could recommend to all the Gold Star families out there to attend at least one of these sessions and bring other families that need this healing process to begin within you, to awaken a new chapter of life within us, because each of us have lost a part of ourself through the death of our children. It really helps to be with people that know and get us, that know what we're feeling. Charlie and Mary, I just thank you from the bottom of my heart and soul. Thank you for having this wonderful idea and growing it into something that is just a remarkable healing venture for other families. I can't wait to bring other family members of my own. And God bless this endeavor. We need all the Gold Star families that can come and honor our sons, our fallen. They would want us to bond and heal and bring in sponsors so that we can create a new life for ourselves. I just appreciate being with people like myself, because we're in a club that nobody wants to be a part of. And there are no rules for this club. You know, we're all in the dark, feeling our way around, but at least we're together doing it. So thank you again. Love you guys. Can't wait for the next opportunity to be with everybody and expand. Thanks.
Hello everyone, my name is Charles Strange. I'm the Gold Star father of Michael Strange. Michael was a CTR1 cryptologist. Michael was killed August 6th, 2011 in Afghanistan, in the Wardak province with 29 other brave Americans. I have a piece of my heart missing, and I struggle, and I know with them 30 men, and they each had a mom and a dad, and that's 60 Gold Star parents. We lost 7,000 in the Iraq and Afghan war. 7,000 men and women. Each one had a parent, that's 14,000. Each one had a grandmom and a grandpa, that's another 14,000. Each one had 3 or 4 brothers or sisters, that's another 28,000. Each one had 4 aunts and uncles, that's another 28,000. Each one was in a platoon, 25 to 50,000. Each one had 5 or 6 good friends, that's another 35,000. And the list goes on up all the way up to 1 million. And that's just the Iraq and Afghan war. With all these Gold Star families, and a piece of their heart missing, a piece of their mind missing, a piece of their soul missing. And we try to reach out to everybody here at the Michael Strange Foundation. And we call it the Voices for Silent Heroes, because nobody hears about the war in Iraq and Afghanistan. The government names it Enduring Freedom, Operation Freedom. No, it's a war. It's a war when our sons are getting killed. You know? When our sons have to come home like they do. And I know there's a lot of good organizations out there, and what we try to do is bring the Gold Star families in and teach them a couple tips, a couple things with the workshops, and some tools to take with them when you can't get out of bed, when you can't turn that head off. To let them know they're not alone, you know. So we spread each other's phone numbers. We're going to pick each other up during the worst days of our lives. During the week, it don't matter. You know, people say, do you have other kids? It don't matter if I have 30 other kids, you know. My son Michael got killed in Afghanistan, and a piece of me got killed. And what we do is try to reach out. We're a small foundation. We're a 501c3. We sold a lot of t-shirts. We paid for 12 people's airfare, the food, and we had a great weekend. What a warm and loving weekend we had, meeting these other parents from all over the country: California, Florida, Virginia, Michigan, Tennessee. And we try to reach out to everybody and connect, because we know the pain. And Wildwood's been great to us. The Bolero Hotel, if you're ever in Wildwood, New Jersey, stop here, meet the owner, Wally and Kathy. And they donated a floor of rooms. Knights of Columbus had a dinner for us. Then we walked across the street to the ocean and did a wreath ceremony. And as a wreath is round and a circle never ends, either does our love for our sons. You know? So the pain don't stop. People say you should be over this. You're never over it. That's people that never buried a son or a daughter. I buried my dad. It's not even in the same circle as burying a son or a daughter. You know? And I want every Gold Star parent to come through our weekend, to meet these people that went through. You know? To have a voice about the things that are going on in this world, in this government, in this country. You know? We do have a say as a Gold Star. We're strong. And we need support. We need help. Other countries, Gold Star parents, they get their house paid off. They don't have to pay taxes. This is supposed to be the greatest country in the world? Who's the greatest country in the world? You know? How about showing something for the people that lost their sons and daughters? People don't even know what a gold star is. I had a poor lady, she was wearing a gold star pin. The other lady said, "Oh, that pin goes great with your dress. Where'd you get it?" How'd you get it? You don't want to know. You know? So I'm reaching out and I'm asking for any Gold Star parent. Go to michaelstrangefoundation.org. You'll see some of these other people. I'm sure you'll know. Reach out. We're having another one the end of April. Another weekend. We came here from Thursday to Monday. All the food was paid for and transportation and come and you're not alone. That's what I want to say. Because there's Gold Star parents out there that think they're alone. And there is support. And there is help.
My name is Brent Layton. My son was James Ray Doc Layton. He was a Fleet Marine Force corpsman. This weekend is it's really hard to explain. I wish it wasn't over already. Yeah, it's something that a lot of people don't understand, the Gold Star, what a Gold Star is, what a Gold Star means, and it's something we don't want people to understand from a personal level of losing a child, of course, but we want them to understand that these men and women, our sons, our daughters, husbands, wives, whoever it is, just, you know, that happens to be with us, that the reason we can wake up every morning in a free world is because of the sacrifices that are made by our sons and daughters. So it's important to me that you know, people know what the sacrifices are made. I mean, there's Vietnam, 58,000. I mean, it just goes on and on. And you know, we get one day a year to honor them, but to us, Memorial Day is every day. You know, and it's something that is taken for granted sometimes, and we understand because not everybody served or had kids that did serve or whatever. But you know, we just want them to not be forgotten. And once we forget the sacrifices that are made, you know, we lose our country, and we can't do that. This weekend was very healing. It was a chance for us to get I've been to other Gold Star events, and it's good to network with these families, and you know, by the time you're done with the weekend, it's not just somebody you met, it's family, you know, and we're one big family. And this weekend was really different and special for me because it's with Charlie and Mary and you know, the Michael Strange Foundation. They just went above and beyond, you know, helping us heal. And you can see it in what they put on, what they do, that they want this to get bigger. They want this to be, you know, it's not about them. It's not about me. It's about my son. It's about their son. And they really want the world to know that we're here for each other. And it's a group that you don't want to belong to. You know, it's a cliche they talk about. We don't want to be part of this club. And you know, it's something that our sons, our daughters, they lay down their life for the country, but it's our job as parents and how we raise them to pick up that torch where they left it and keep going with it. And whatever that vision is, it's always forward. We pick up that torch and we honor them, and we promise them they won't be forgotten. And it's just something that means the world to me, that we have that opportunity, and they're still alive. You know, they may have moved on to a different world, different dimension, whatever your personal thoughts are. But I told somebody once, I said, my son just got a better assignment. You know, he's not in the world any longer here. He got a better assignment. He's where we strive to be. So, you know, I'll see him again, but I feel them all around us. I feel them through the Gold Star families. I feel them through Charlie and Mary, what they do. You know, you feel that, and it's just something that can't be described. It probably shouldn't be described as something, because it's ever changing, ever evolving. It's something personal, and it's something positive, believe it or not. Through all the negativity, you know, the worst thing you do is bury your own child. But the most important thing that's come through this is I've gotten rich through family and friends. I could die tomorrow, and I've met the greatest people in the world through James. Through the loss of him, I've gained so much more. And that's where I'm a rich man, is my friends and family, because of this, my Gold Star family.
Hi, my name is Leanne Smith. I am the proud mother of Army Sergeant Andrew Robert Tobin. As a Gold Star mother, and as many of you know, our heart and everything that happens to us is just not normal, but it is our new norm. And finding our way through that norm is a battle every day. Coming to this workshop for this weekend with the Strange Foundation was just such an enlightening thing. In the 3 years since I've lost my son, I've never been able to let go. I've never been able to really open up. So for the first time in 3 years, I have done that. The people here are just amazing, loving, caressing, caring, and that's what it takes for us. You have to be a part of it. I can't say that enough. What they have done for me this weekend was actually amazing. I wasn't expecting what happened. I just figured I would be coming to another retreat to listen to more facilitators telling us what to do, what not to do, what tools to give us to get through our daily lives that we suffer through every day. One of the facilitators they had was just amazing, and it really made a difference. One night I was dancing, and it's the first time I've danced since before I lost my son. But I let go, and not did I just a little bit, but I completely and totally let go. Strange Foundation, Charles and Mary Strange, have such a big heart, and they want to help us, every one of us. I encourage you, all of you, to reach out to this foundation, to come to one of their retreats. It really does make a difference.
Hello, my name is Doug Hamburger, and I'm the proud father of Staff Sergeant Patrick Douglas Hamburger, who was with the Army Aviation Unit. Pat was killed on August 6th of 2011 on Extortion 17 in Afghanistan. I want to really take a second to thank Charlie and Mary Strange and the Michael Strange Foundation for putting on a Gold Star family retreat here in New Jersey. I would highly recommend that any Gold Star family that is in need of some friendship building, some healing, and some transformation to contact the Michael Strange Foundation about being a part of one of these wonderful weekends. We've made some terrific friends here. We worked with some great people that have given us tools to help us cope with some of those surprises that come up in everyday living. And we'd really hate to see somebody that could use this type of help miss out on this opportunity. Look to the Michael Strange Foundation and one of these weekend retreats where you're able to build some friendships and relationships with other Gold Star families, and you're able to get those tools to help you cope. Thank you. We truly hope that you'll be able to come out to one of these events in the near future.
Get the word out there and just do your patriotic part in all of this. You know, that's what people out there can do in this country. And thank you for listening. God bless America and God bless you.